Did you know that public speaking is one of the biggest fears that most people have? So much so that a lot of people fear speaking in public even more than they fear death. So imagine my surprise when I found myself in front of 200 to 300 business students speaking about business with no business experience and no prep for the speech itself. Okay, so let me explain the whole situation to you. The head of our company, the CEO of our company, she was going to speak at one of these events at this very prestigious college in Bangalore. Now, at this event, it was supposed to be like she was a chief guest of the event. It was supposed to be an award distribution thing and all of the cliche stuff. But a few days before that, we were just discussing about some things, and she suggested, why don't you share the stage with me? Why don't you speak about some stuff? You're young, and I don't know, it might be an interesting spin on things. And I was like, sure, why not? I mean, sounds exciting. I didn't expect it to be this big, but I was like, sure, why not? Now, I expect it to be one of these conversations that you just have and they just go off and nothing really happens at all. But I was there at the event and I'm sitting in the audience, I'm in the first row. And, our CEO is doing a thing super charismatic. She's walking around in the crowd. She's switching it up, not your generic chief guest speech. It's very different. She's switching things up. She's going, interacting with the audience. And all of a sudden, she's like, okay, guys, so I have somebody here with me that I want to give the mic to, and they're going to share something from them. And immediately, I was like, oh shit, it's happening. And I was there with zero preparation. I really like before the speech, we went to the event and stuff, I was telling my teammates that I really don't think it's going to happen and I'm not too sure, but you know what, whatever. And there's no prep. I'm not prepared for anything at all. So immediately when she said that, I have somebody that I want to share this mic with and they're going to share some their business or their business idea, I shattered. I was like, there is no way. But generally, I have been somebody that has always not feared away from speaking in front of people. I like to talk and I'm not afraid of speaking on stages and in front of a lot of people and stuff. It's not something that really throws me off. So when she said that, although I hadn't prepared at all, I was like, okay, fine, you know what? Like, I love this shit. Let's go. And I took the mic and I just went on in a tangent. I didn't know, since I wasn't prepared, I didn't know what to talk about. I just started explaining about myself and what I do, which wasn't why my boss shared the mic with me. She wanted me to talk about my business idea. But I was like, I'm a college student. I do this, I do that. And everybody just looked at me like, who the heck is this guy? And I felt the tension. And then my boss was like, Dhruv, wait. All that is good. But what is your business idea? And that was sort of like it threw me off guard a little bit because I was going somewhere without any flow, but I was at least going. And then this was like, okay, wait, stop immediately, change topics. It was like impromptu speeches, but except in front of a huge crowd. And immediately I was like, oh shit, okay. And then I took a turn and then I started explaining my business idea. But here's where the crazy thing happened. I start talking about my business idea, but because of this immediate change, I was thrown off guard so badly. I started like feeling this tension rise up in my body. And it was almost like there was a blockage in my throat and my voice wasn't able to come out. And there's actually a term for it. It's called glossophobia. This is the clinical term for the fear of public speaking. It's estimated that around 75% of people experience some level of anxiety when speaking in front of a crowd. So, yeah, glossophobia. I've never expected myself to face something like this, but it felt like I literally had a ball in my throat and my voice wasn't coming out. And I was able to squeeze in like a few words like, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. And on the mic in front of everybody. And something really beautiful happened, something that I did not expect. I saw one of the girls in the crowd clapping. And she was looking at me and she was clapping. And I was just like, thank you. And again, I'm just struggling to squeeze out words, but I was like, thank you. And immediately the entire crowd started clapping. Like everybody was like just clapping for no reason at all. I hadn't finished, I hadn't even started anything. I wasn't speaking about anything that made sense to anybody. But I guess being vulnerable and speaking the right thing or speaking the truth helped, that felt so good. Now, the reason I'm sharing this story with you is one, it's mostly for a video for me to look back at. I see myself in the future being able to speak in front of huge crowd and a lot of people and doing really well at it. But this experience was completely opposite of that. Like all of it from the get go, zero preparation, just going out there and stuttering and not knowing what I'm talking about, but doing it anyway. It's just to show that I know I'm not good right now, but someday I will. So I guess this video is for that. But it's also to share another idea about how just being like in uncomfortable situations. After the whole speech, when I sat down, my heart was racing so fast and I was like cringing at all of the things that I did. Like in the first 30 seconds, when I just went on a tangent and started speaking about myself, I was like, why did I do that? But at the end of it, I was like, dude, I want to do it again. I want to do it again and I want to do it better. I want to do it again and I want to fix what I did wrong. I want to do it again and probably prepare a little maybe. Or I want to do it again and I don't know, maybe even choke because I loved it when everybody clapped for me. And that was such a like energizing feeling. And again, this is coming from somebody that always thought I was really confident in public speaking and being put in front of an audience. And in fact, this is not to brag or anything, but when I told a lot of my close circle about what happened and all of this crazy experience, all of them were like, you got nervous. Like, what? You got nervous. And I didn't expect it either, but it happened. And honestly, like so many things that I learned from it. And it's so good to know that I absolutely loved it, even though I got nervous and I choked. And I remember how in 8 Mile, Eminem chokes when he has to rap for the first time in one of his rap battles. He goes up to the stage and it's his turn to rap and he chokes. And so, I don't know, maybe this is my Eminem story. But there were some key takeaways that I made from this. One is always be prepared. That is something that I very fundamentally believe in. No matter what you're doing, whether, like, honestly, if I was going to that event without any idea that I'm going to be speaking, I should have been prepared even then. But I wasn't. But that's okay. That's just a lesson learned. Always be prepared. Be prepared is probably the first thing. And the second thing is when you're given the opportunity, seize the moment. Like for me, when my CEO was like, I have somebody that wants to share the stage with me. Sure, there was like this rush of like anxiousness, like how am I going to talk in front of all of these new faces that I've never met any one of them in my life before? Like no ways. But I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it. So seize the moment and whatever happens later, we'll figure it out. And the last thing is, if you mess up, then it's okay. Like 9 out of 10 times we're too hard on ourselves. I'm sure if not for that audience clapping, I would have been very hard on myself. But look, I mean, there are people that support us. Even after the speech, when I was speaking to my friend who was there from my team, and he was like, yeah, you did so well. Although I thought I did shit, but he was there to support me. And just like that, my girlfriend and my parents and all of these guys were like, yeah, that was so cool. So to end this video, if you have had a public speaking experience where you have struggled and you want to share it with somebody, you want to get some insight on what you could have done better, or you just want to talk to somebody about it, then go ahead and comment down below or write me an email or subscribe to my newsletter and comment on one of those, because I've written about this whole experience over there too. And it will be going up later on. But yeah, go ahead and do that. And just speak. A lot of times I notice in my college and in all of these different spaces where you have the opportunity to speak, a lot of us aren't doing it. And I know it's easier said than done. Like I have had the privilege of being able to speak. I've had the privilege of language. I've had the privilege of being told not to speak when I've spoken in the past. And I'm sure some of us have been told to be quiet. But our greatest gift is our voice, like our ability to talk, our ability to share. Whether it's right or wrong that's subjective. Whether you speak the right thing or the right thing or the wrong thing, somebody or the other is going to find some fault in it. So you know what, just might as well speak, and don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed. Just share your ideas, share your thoughts. And I don't know, you might feel good at the end of it. And if not, somebody else might feel good at the end of it. So that's it for this video, guys. I know it's a little bit random, but I really had to share this because it was such a beautiful experience. And it is something that I always thought I was really good at naturally, but I guess not. It was a real reminder that there is actual work that goes behind all of this. And the whole process was really beautiful. And I hope you guys watch this video and feel inspired to speak out a little bit more, be it on social media, be it in your class, be it in front of your family, whatever it is. So thank you guys for making it this far into the video. I hope you got some insights out of it. And I know it's a little bit random, but like I said, I had to share it. So until next video, guys, see you. Bye.